So, one of the things, one of the favors that Jason did me, albeit accidentally and without any knowledge of my interference with his output, is demonstrate yet again what an absolute bloody rip-off Snatch 22, the dealer 22 is a push rule, is in reality. It happened 8 times. And I think there were about 90 rounds for him, so that's over 10%. 8 times? No, it's a little under 10%. But anyway, it's a hell of a lot. And that big red nasty number in the middle there is how much Jason would have lost if there had been a rule in place saying dealer 22 is a push. Now, I have watched Jason actually playing one of these silly games, free bet, something like that. I haven't seen him promoting double down madness, which is what a lot of these guys have been doing faithfully, obviously doing the bidding of their casino hosts or sponsors or whatever you call them. And the thing with that game is that I take the point that the casinos are using as their sales tool, which is it's exciting because you get to double down repeatedly and you can hit after a double down and you can do blah, 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 all that stuff. But the one thing that anybody who's concerned with the realities, with the numbers of these negative games of chance in casinos, the one thing that you always have to know for sure is that if the casino changes the rules of a traditional game, whatever change they make is to benefit them more than it benefits you. This is what everybody has to keep in mind. So you're looking at a game where if you get a bust in hand and the dealer then busts with 22, it isn't a bust, it's a push. And it isn't completely fair for me to say, okay, there were 8 of these in Jason's session and they would have cost him 13,200, because the other rules that sort of boost a little bit, certainly not the player's chances of winning, but maybe his engagement or her engagement or excitement or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, all I'm trying to say here is thank you, Jason. You have demonstrated, accidentally, but along the way, you have demonstrated what a total rip-off Snatch 22 really is. So I appreciate it very much. I thank you, and I hope you win next time. You were well ahead, 13,000 plus in this session, and you ended up 5,000 ahead, and in your book, that makes you a winner. It doesn't in mine, because you were all over the place. You were betting exactly as you were entitled to do, how you wanted to bet with your money. So there's no criticism, no complaint, no mockery or anything. All I'm saying is, if you had used pattern betting, you would have done better. Now, in the spreadsheet analysis which follows, you'll see that pattern betting won less. But pattern betting only won less at its lower level of betting. And one of the things that I've added to these analysis models now is a line that picks out, okay, this is how much pattern betting would have won betting at the same level as this particular YouTube professional gambler. So that's what that's all about. Anyway, Jason, thanks again, and better luck next time. All right, so I mentioned this earlier in this particular presentation, but it bears saying again, and that is that I'm very grateful to Jason, to Mr. Handpay, because he has done me a couple of great favors with this latest blackjack adventure of his. I disagree with him on the numbers, but it's entirely possible that I've made a mistake, because I'm sure he's much more careful with his own money, counting his own money, than I, despite my best efforts, am likely to be on my end, because it ain't my money. But I have him let's see. Let me just check on this. I have him up 6,170 at the end of the session. I only concern myself with his left hand or first base bets, as most people who've been following me know. So I don't pay attention to the others. I have started factoring them in. I mean, sort of like dealing with them separately. But he in fact got 13,320 ahead, as you can see here, before things went tits up, pear shaped, south, whatever. And I think part of the problem that I have with Jason is that he really is all over the place. He's very much a random better, and of course, he's entitled to do what he wants with his money. It is his money, and it's his show, so he can do whatever he wants. But he can't expect everybody to love what he does or the way that he does it. I suppose that I'm easily outnumbered by hundreds of thousands to one, because he has a lot of followers who seem to keep coming back. So, all I can do is take the numbers that he gives me, work on them in terms of applying the pattern betting algorithm to them. And all I do is I apply his outcomes to the algorithm, and the algorithm does what it's been shown to do, taught to do, ordered to do, and we come up with a different story. Here you see an illustration, a very vivid illustration of something that I'm always talking about, which is that it isn't always easy to get pattern betting out of trouble, but it will get out of trouble. We went 3,475 in the hole, which is right here, you can see. And my frustration with all of these guys, all of these professionals, is that they walk away from losing streaks, which I never do. I mean, I will roll over a losing streak because I don't want to stay in a particular place because I'm getting the shit kicked out of me, so I'll stop play and go somewhere else and take the down and out with me and chips that I've got left and continue playing a new location against the same game or a different game or whatever. Jason doesn't do that, and in his own particular case, he was on his first base bets. He was, I don't know what happened there, in a serious losing streak. 7,150 down in the current thing. See, here he is at up 13,320, and then he managed to lose all of this, which is about 7,000 before he quit. And he had his last Hail Mary bet, a $5,000 bet, which he won, and which made him feel better because he decided that he was coming away a winner. He qualifies for the he didn't have to lose thing because he went from 1320 to 6,170 by my count. So he got beaten up on the home stretch, so to speak. I did keep a note of his secondary bets, his multi-hand bets, and they added 18,300 to the total action for him, and reduced his win by 3,700. So this number up here, technically speaking, should be 3,700 less, which would put it in the area of less. I used to do that sort of stuff in my head, but I don't try anymore. I still do crosswords. I still do all this shit. I'm still on top of things, but once in a while I think to myself, okay, don't give yourself a headache. Just wait until ALEXA is available to do the sums for you, or use a whatever. Anyway, there we are. I, as I say, I'm grateful to him for providing all this stuff, which he doesn't do for my benefit. Obviously, I get that. But just check this out. I had average win over average loss of 142%, which is good. The flat AV was not terrible. It was around what you expect for blackjack, just 0.6%. So the expected result against that percentage was a loss of 173. I won, or Algae won 3,540, and was left high and dry because Jason walked away from a losing streak. I really hate that. I don't understand it, but I do certainly get that it's not my money, so it's none of my business. It's just that I sort of think, you know, if you just go through to the end of a series before you quit, but it's not for me to say, obviously. The win-loss patterns graph here is interesting because you want to see that he had an awful lot of good stuff going for him, and he just didn't bother with it. I mean, his bets for the longest time he bet flat, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500. And on that in that sequence he got as high as 1,500 ahead. Then he started ramping up his bets here, and this is where he managed to get all the way up to 13,320 to the good, and then tits up, toilet, etc. So there you are. That's where we ended up with Jason. Thank you. If you ever watch these things, Jason, thank you very much. I know that you do it for you and your audience and not for me, but I'm collateral benefit. Is that the way to put it? Not collateral damage, but collateral the opposite. So I'm glad of it, and I do wish that you'd give up random betting and give up multiple hands all the time, but I'm sure that you know what you're doing, or I hope you do. So there we are. I'm done, and I'll catch you next time.